definitely get away with that kind of thing.
Even
for
if not
sure.
capping, just as pulling attention.
Absolutely, and I'm expecting we're going to be seeing that and a lot more as we go into Game 1 of Gridlock 2026 Losers Semifinals on Urchin Underpass Zones.
That's right. Already loving the kind of variety of weapons we got here. Felicity running with 2 different buckets here. We do have the regular slosher and then the bucket nouveau. That's going to be the cooler option for them here.
That is very interesting. I'm seeing that Henlo is opting for Luna Blaster Neo, probably going to be getting a lot of use out of that Ultra Stamp. Then this is not.
Oh my.
Oh, I gotta eat my words for a second.
All right, we wasted no time.
Immediately gets a wipe on the front foot, getting to flip the zone first.
It's always a dangerous game when your backline's the last, when the backline of the enemy team is the last one alive, because they can get all those jumps in no time. And already, look at this, just trying to move quickly and move fast here. Splat bombs though, taking a lot of players out. A nice hammer throw, taking out Prosper. It's going to be a very fast zone flip as we see Jovan there just trying to hold it down in the center of the map, chasing around Henlo from behind. Just exactly what Henlo tried to do, but just in reverse, and they're going to go down. Yeah,
the double bucket composition on this zone on the low ground is proving to be extremely strong from Birch and the Order Slasher, respectively. They are able to flip the zone in that moment, but it quickly goes back in the favor of Happy Birthday Sencon as they're forced to back up.
That does. A couple specials online for both sides. We're going to see that Waper come on out. Thunder tried to rush on forward, but it's going to go get picked off. Henlo does have that hammer ready. With his cooler coming out, we could see some special usage coming in fast here, and that we will. Henlo's going to get one onto Len. Looking for a toss. Can they get a pick? No, but a nice strike will get another player down. It's going to be Flow State with another great flip of the zone, and penalty points are removed. So points are going to cut down fast.
Yeah, they were able to corner Prosper in that corner there with the sloshers, continuing to hold control of this mid-state, probably just going to want to play it safe for a bit, but the Jet coming out is going to put a stop to those plans as 2 go down in the middle of the zone. Len following up with the Jet with a splashdown of his own, able to flip the zone once again.
Yeah, you gotta love that quick work there. Now, a couple specials were burned pretty fast there for Happy Birthday Sencon, but a great play regardless, making sure no matter what they got, at least one player picked off on the side of Flow State so they can keep the ball rolling. Penalty points are finally off of their side, so looking to count down more. Thunder and Len on this side, trying to see if they can poke any players out. They're just waiting for one player to get a little bit overzealous, and right there we're going to see Thunder trade on out as we see Jovan Shark on his right side here, going after the recount on the slosher. Do they see him? No! And they're still going to hold on to the zone.
Flow State had their specials online, but Happy Birthday Sencon took them out before they could even do anything, and now the zone is down to 3. It looks like this is going to be a quick Game 1 for Happy Birthday Sencon.
Wow, what a great play from Happy Birthday Sencon there. Being able to really quickly turn around a lot of those matches where they were in those deficits and really use their specials to their advantage as well. I love to see that kind of chaining for their specials. And just being able to take those picks off really quickly and make that momentum work very fast.
Yeah, momentum for sure. That match was moving at breakneck speed. It felt like the zone was flipping and these picks were being caught off every 5 seconds. But you're definitely right about the chaining specials thing. Happy Birthday Sencon. I noticed towards the middle of the match, on one side of the map, you had JJ pop their Jet, and then on the other side of the map, Len popped his splashdown, knowing that the members of Flow State would move to the other side of the map to avoid the Jet, and that's how you kind of catch people out and keep that chain going. I also noticed that Happy Birthday Sencon was really good at prioritizing the picks that they got. Towards the end of the game, Flow State had 2 specials online, and then the 2 players that had specials, Happy Birthday Sencon targeted them first before going for any other picks.
Yeah, and that's the kind of in-the-moment strategy you got to have against teams like this where they, you know mechanically you're probably either evenly matched or you have really good ability to win those 1v1s. But you have to be able to follow through, take a lot of those important fights that you know are going to be worth it for your team. Even if you go down with a trade, if you're taking on, like you said, one of those players with a special ready, you're going to do so much, not even just for your team, but for the game overall. And that's exactly what led them to that first game victory.
I will say Flow State had a really, really strong composition with the double bucket there, and it seemed to be working out pretty well. It felt like they were getting the picks that they needed, but definitely at this level of play, what separates the players that win from the players that lose is that level of extra strategizing that goes into how you play the game. And now that Flow State is on counter pick advantage, I'm wondering what they might choose that might favor their composition a bit more, perhaps.
Yeah, and I mean, the other question too is, do they stay this comp? Now we
Yeah.
saw they had kept it going from that previous set, but that's not what we know they've been playing all weekend. So I'm really curious to see what the move is going to be, not only just for the map mode combination, but is it going to be reflective off of, hey, this is what works against our current comp, or is it, hey, this is what's going to be great for us and not so great against the weapons that they select, just so we have a little bit more knowledge for it, or have the overall home base advantage.
I'm wondering if maybe someone like Henlo is going to want to go for a map where they feel more comfortable playing the weapon that they main.
Yeah. Yeah, having a weapon that you've pretty much played consistently and you have so much time dedicated to would be a really good start. And it looks like Undertow Spillway Rainmaker is the counterpick they selected. This is a very, very fast first check into a potential snowball, depending on either team's once they get a really clear opening.
Definitely getting through that choke point after the left checkpoint. One of the more difficult Rainmaker maps to go from the checkpoint to the end of the road on. I feel like both teams, assuming that they stick with similar compositions, have very strong area of effect weapons that will prove effective on this map. I have to wonder if Flow State will stick with options like the Luna Blaster or the Rapid Blaster or the 2 buckets. Len definitely going to want to stay on that custom blaster, exerting as much control over that choke point area as you possibly can. Hammer is going to be very strong on this as well. So if Henlo plays Luna Blaster, or if Henlo plays Wiper, definitely an option that he is going to probably want to have online.
Yeah, and I can't see the side of Happy Birthday Sencon wanting to change too much for themselves either. Well, here we are rolling into game number 2 of Loser Semifinals. Happy Birthday Sencon looking to take on another game. Flowsy looking to tie the score. Looks like both teams are going to be not sticking with the same comp. We have Javon switching to the Wiper, and we do see the Bulbs Tri-Stringer coming out from Prosper.
I believe that we have seen the Tri-Stringer from Prosper before this weekend. The Wiper, definitely not a weapon that we really associate with JJ, but could be very effective on this map all the same.
Absolutely. Right away, it's going to be 3 players down on the side of Happy Birthday Sencon. Prosper's going to have to try to reset themselves out of here, jumping on out. It's going to be the first checkpoint cleared for Flow State, and they look like they're going to have a couple specials ready to try to push on forward as that Rainmaker gets popped immediately.
Yeah, this push is not showing any signs of stopping yet as Birch helps get 2 down. It's just JJ in the jet right now. Probably, that's Prosper. Oh, my fault. But,
down to 17.
Flow State running it down to 17. I was distracted by my grammatical flub, and I didn't realize that the tables were completely turning 1 minute into the game, and Flow State already has a lead that might be proven difficult to beat for Happy Birthday Sencon.
Yeah, it is an impressive lead to get within the first minute of the game, but if you know Undertow like most other players do, honestly, 17 might not be completely winnable. There is a lot of opportunities where once you get great momentum going and be able to just start holding forward and pushing for that section, you might get this down all the way down to the single digits. And right now it seems Happy Birthday Sencon's kind of struggling to get this Rainmaker out of mid.
Yeah, for sure. With weapons you have, like the bow and the Wiper, able to concert a lot of pressure over that choke point area, this is definitely far from unwinnable for Happy Birthday Sencon, and they seem to realize that as they gun for first check here with the Jet online. JJ wanting to secure this area, push the enemy back as far as they possibly can with that Wiper, and the Hammer on deck, coming around the grates, not able to get anything off of that, but it looks like the checkpoint might be secure. Yes, it is.
Checkpoint secured, but no specials to their name. They're just going to have to try to push things forward. We do see Javon trying to flank on that right side, but gets called on out. Thunder's going to try to follow up with that, but they are seen out by that Killer Whale 5.1. Prosper trying to just stay alive with this Rainmaker right now and not get splatted. It's really just a holding game by this checkpoint. Strikes coming on out. Flow State doing whatever they can to stop this Rainmaker from moving forward.
Yeah, Prosper was able to stay far back enough to provide some jumps to keep the push going, but right now it looks like it's difficult for both teams to break in, but a pick is able to be gotten on Prosper. That Rainmaker is going to stay right where it is. It's just JJ. Now it's not. That is a wipe out for Flow State. They're going to be resetting the board back to neutral.
Yeah, and opting to pick up the Rainmaker right away, I can't say I blame them. You don't want to leave that Rainmaker unprotected, especially even though you got the wipeout. You want to be able to have this fast momentum and move things forward, especially when you got a Hammer online. Here comes the Inkjet. We're just going to try to toss that forward, but Inkjet kill goes on, Spot goes on down. We're going to see a couple picks on this left side. Thunder's just rushing things forward. Unfortunately, Rainmaker will be stopped in time by Happy Birthday Sencon. See if they get this push going more for themselves.
Yeah, a lot of purple on the board right now and 2 specials online, but Happy Birthday Sencon is going to need to play this pretty patient as Flow State has already all spawned back in. Well, coming out on the Rainmaker in a very difficult position with all those bombs and AoE coming at you. I would be terrified if I was Thunder right now.
Oh, it's so dangerous right now. Thunder's trying their best to just stay up right now and get this Rainmaker rush forward. Ooh. Down to 26, and it's a 2v2 right now, and they are in Inkjet. We have Hammer ready. Javon's going to try to go for it. They're fighting for this pop. Can they get it in time? Looks like they will, and they're going to have to just truck it, try to get a pick. Ooh, they will get one. Blue trying to stay up. They're going to swim forward. That's going to be the lead. Javon's still alive. Down to 9 remaining. Happy Birthday Sencon has brought it back.
That was insane. I didn't think that pulling out the hammer on the Rainmaker shield that they were going to be able to stay alive and provide the jumps that were needed to continue the push, but all the odds were subverted and the lead is now in Happy Birthday Sencon's favor.
It's with 1 minute left into the game as well. It's so dangerous right now. Flow State has to find a way to push back in, but with players of Happy Birthday Sencon really just now in the opportunity to kind of hold forward a bit. Have one player go on in, try to get a pick or two. If you're able to get those trades off, that's going to be wonderful. Now we see Balloon here holding this Rainmaker, just throwing a couple of shots out forward. They're going to get a pick on Javon here, and this might be another opportunity for this lead to potentially swap again.
Oh, 2 going down. This is a really scary situation.
Oh,
there's so lots
is it
to go.
Javon?
3 down. It's just
it's a wipeout.
They swapped the lead again by a single point. Flow State is now in the lead with 24 seconds remaining, and they get the pop on the Rainmaker.
It's 20 seconds left, like you said. They're just going to leave the Rainmaker there. Maybe pick it up with Prosper. Get that? Looks like they're not going to opt to pick it up right away. Okay, they will. But oh no, do they see Ricky behind? There's a flag out to the Rainmaker. Do they see it? They don't see it. They don't.
Ricky gets the pick, shutting down the push. 3 seconds left. No one is near the Rainmaker. And Flow State is going to take game 2, evening out the score.
No lead is ever truly safe on Undertow. Wow, a 1-point game for these 2 teams. Flow State tying the score, looking now to keep up this momentum. It's going to be now in the side of Happy Birthday Sencon to pick a counter pick on what they want to go to. What a such impressive game. And I believe I believe that was Bert say they just dropped 24 splash. That's impressive.
That is insane, but not unexpected coming from Birch at all. 3-time Gridlock champion, looking to make it a 4th. Definitely par for the course for them. But wow, so much patience is required to make a perfect push on Undertow Rainmaker, and we saw both teams pull it off multiple times, but ultimately Flow State was the one that was able to come out on top.
Yeah, and it's really just, it's so crazy to be just watching those both of those pushes, down to 9, down to 8. It really came down to who was taking those fights more and winning those engagements. Even with like 1 or 2 specials online, they were able to make the most of what they had so little of. And being able to take that and run with it and get yourself that lead to win those games. I mean, and it's just so incredible to see these players truly have so much confidence in themselves.
It really goes to show how at this level there is really so little that separates the best of the best, and how it can come down to such tiny adjustments at times.
Yeah, it really is. And the smallest mistakes can really be what takes you down. And you do see Happy Birthday Sencon right now really kind of discussing what the map mode they want to take Flow State to here is for game number 3. Want to go with something that, you know, is hopefully going to give them the advantage and try to get this win. But as we just saw with Undertow Spillway, Rainmaker, and it doesn't matter how comfortable you might be, I mean, both these teams are just so strong. It's really going to be difficult to just have a what's the word I'm looking for? Just advantage overall on what you pick, because both these teams are just so familiar with everything.
I'm assuming that we're probably going to see something in the vein of either Tower Control or Clan Blitz, considering that we've played on Zone or Rainmaker already. Tower Control definitely going to be, well, we are not doing Tower Control. We are, in fact, doing Clan Blitz on Ship-Shaped Cargo Co.
Okay. I don't dislike it. I think it's the same situation you have with Undertow Spillway, where it could be really quick, really fast, and both pushes being able to go back and forth.
This is a pretty scary map. I remember, this is only tangentially related, but I remember Moonlight lost their North American League 2026 run to this map because in overtime they just weren't able to get back on that platform in time to get the clams in that they needed. Getting on that little ledge step up that you have to do, it's so silly, but it can be so hard to just get up there, because by doing that, you're just naturally assuming the low ground. You make yourself so vulnerable climbing that thing.
That you do, and I'm excited to see. I mean, I'm sure we're not going to see any ink backs here, but still just to see what both these players are bringing out. It looks like Henlo's going to be on that Lunar Blaster once again, and looks like Jovan's going to switch back onto the, I believe that's Sorella with the Inkjet. So very excited to see, and Prosper switches as well to the Chump Tri-Stringer.
Not entirely unsurprising, I suppose. Super Chumps are able to take a very good amount of space on the courts on this map. They're a very good size for taking over that area. Right away, we see JJ come out with the Jet, exerting some control over that pit. 2 going down now, 3. It's just the Rapid Blaster, the Luna Blaster, excuse me, able to put a stop to that push. But now they're all alone in the pit, and it looks like JJ's going to be able to make an opening for his team.
Oh, that they are, and this is a very quick push. And right away, a score off the bat for Happy Birthday Sencon. And with a numbers advantage as well, it is the 3v1 onto the field right now, with a lot of just stagger going on from Flow State. This score is already at about 50, halfway down.
Yeah, not even a minute in, and we're down to 56. We're going to need to get the economy up if we want to keep the push, and we do, down to 44. The picks still keep coming. After going down to 38, it looks like Happy Birthday Sencon was finally able to shut the push down.
That they were, and Prosper has to run all the way back to spawn because Henlo was relentless and rushing them so fast. And that's exactly what I mentioned this map is going to do. You're going to have these players just going so fast back and forth. See a couple great picks going on here in the center of the map here. Riki trying to stay alive here, not get splatted, especially because they do have ink strikes online. Now it's cooler. They could be a little more reckless if they choose to be.
Yeah, definitely going to want to keep those ink strikes on the board. Slosher is a very good weapon for exerting control over those left and right sides, which are critical to take advantage of if you want to advance on this map.
Absolutely. You saw Balloon there try to get a pick onto the Inkjet. Unfortunately, it was not successful. But they're just kind of holding on to this right side on their own. A lot of jumps going in for the side of Happy Birthday Sencon, resetting themselves onto that left side of the map to try to have a little bit more of a good hold right now and trying to push Flow State back. But now that they have Cooler, again, they can play a little bit more quick, a little bit more reckless, try to get a couple great splats as they will get onto Jovan there.
Yeah, Thunder and JJ pushed up a little far there. Both teams kind of just wanting to take their time, waiting for specials to come online. Happy Birthday Sencon can rest a little comfortably, but Flow State knows that it's not an unbeatable lead at all as they start to put more and more green on the map, getting the picks that they need on Happy Birthday Sencon.
Yeah, absolutely. You see a lot of great momentum here. Henlo because we're going to hammer and gets JJ down. Here we're going to see the Chumps come on up, try to get a little more paint onto the map, but Birch is running in on that left side. Follow with Henlo.
Impressive.
But Thunder shuts it down with the power clam. Len's going to be here trying to help follow it up.
Birch is still there in the pit. Strikes coming out from Riki, exerting even more control over that plat. Misses the clamlet shot and gets splatted after that. But the specials are still coming out. Riki jumping back in. Flow State is not giving up control just yet.
That was a strong 2v2 situation on the lower side of that map there in that pit area. We are seeing Len going to go down the same spot as well. Prosper really trying right now to see if they can get a great control of this right section. But right now, Riki's just doing whatever they can to try to push them back and keep them away as the rest of Flow State, I mean, they have the economy and they have some great space, but they just can't push past that little barrier that's just kind of stopping them.
Yeah. JJ staying in mid with the Jet and Prosper not moving from those grates, just shooting their arrows at anyone that comes their way. It's making a pretty difficult wall for Flow State to penetrate right now.
It really is, and we're going to see, just, again, a lot of this jumps coming on. Now might be a little dangerous here, but just a lot of this back and forth, and it really is, props to Happy Birthday Sencon with the amount of defense, but right now, they're staggering them in their spawn. They can't even spawn. They can't spawn.
3 down and still staggering out. Happy Birthday Sencon able to get 2 clams in down to 60, but that might be the end. Balloon jumping in, but not able to get any more clams in time. A few more picks go back and forth, but right now it is just Henlo, and the push is officially over. Happy Birthday Sencon defends their lead.
You know, that was a really great push from FlowState, but they didn't have the momentum or the clam economy to really keep pushing forward. They do have a power clam now, so even though if this does go to overtime, it will allow overtime to even begin. But now they're dealing with a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And right now, a number disadvantage from Happy Birthday Sencon, who's just barreling forward.
Henlo.
And they're going to score again.
They come in from the left, right under Henlo's nose. They score another one, eliminating those penalty points, getting it down to 29 and still staggering out FlowState. Prosper still hanging out on the side there, but forced to retreat because of Birch, but still able to sneak more and more clams in as the timer ticks down. There is going to be no overtime. Happy Birthday Sencon is going to take their second point in this.
All right. One game away to that this Happy Birthday Sencon sit from moving on to losers finals. FlowState kind of on the backseat right now, kind of pushed against the wall.
That game had to have instilled a lot of confidence in Happy Birthday Sencon after that rough loss that they took before. That second set was so close, but the games that we're seeing Happy Birthday Sencon win have been pretty well suited in their favor. Like, they're not like insta-knocking out FlowState, but they're definitely having more of an advantage than FlowState did in the game that they took. So I definitely think Happy Birthday Sencon's got to be feeling really confident about taking this right now.
Absolutely. And I can imagine, you know, you do see kind of the head nods and the questioning from the side of FlowState, you know, kind of talking to each other, trying to figure out, you know, what maybe went wrong that game. What did we do that we could have done maybe a little bit better, or what did we do that we don't need to do next time, so that way we are able to take this game, next game, and ideally bring us to a game 5. Because as you mentioned earlier, Deed, FlowState has 2 3-time Gridlock champions right now on their side. And I imagine they don't want to go down
They
here.
don't want to break that streak. No, it's very important to them. But I really have to wonder what the counterpick in this situation is going to be. What could FlowState possibly be thinking? Because I think in that match, they really have to be wondering. They really tried their hardest, but it was just so difficult to penetrate the defense that Happy Birthday Sencon had in that situation. Just having all of the weapons in the right place, how intimidating the area of effect of the blasters and the sloshers was. Always having Prosper and JJ just on demand, popping those jets, popping those chumps. Just such an oppressive game all around on FlowState, and I have to wonder how they're thinking about countering that.
You get to a point as well, and I mentioned this earlier, where like these players know that not to overthink, not to, you know, do something hasty. But I'm curious, does FlowState feel like switching something in their comp, even just a little bit? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Their comp has been doing very well against Happy Birthday Sencon, and it could have just maybe been just not the right map mode combination for them or their comp, or just maybe they just made a few minor mistakes that Happy Birthday Sencon was able to capitalize on. But I'm really curious because I just know these players play so many varieties of weapons. You know, what are they going to try to pull out here? And if there's any time to pull all the stops, it's right now, because you are facing elimination. You can bring it back. This is your game to do it.
Yeah, this is far from unwinnable for FlowState, I'm sure of it. We still haven't seen Henlo pull out the wiper yet. They seem very, very comfortable on the Luna Blaster, but I have to wonder if the right option might be something that Henlo is a little more comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Luna Blaster has been doing such wonderful works for those engagements for Henlo. I can't say I disagree with the pick at all, especially with the support they're able to get from Balloon, applying more chip damage. You also have the cooler, and also just Slosher just throwing at least half the damage onto enemies.
It's so much chip. It's so much chip
yeah.
from both sides.
I can imagine how annoying it must be.
Yeah,
like,
just getting poked every 5 seconds by everything around you. I would hate to fight either of these teams.
They might. I can only imagine like they go down to it, they get spotted, and they can't even complain because they're like, yeah, we do that.
And it's only going to get worse because now we're going on to Mako Mart Tower Control.
Ooh.
I
Oh
feel
my
like
gosh.
this map is like a little bit contentious. Like I feel like some people like it and some people don't. It's not legal in every single tournament that you play. It's not like one of those like universal tournament maps for Splatoon 3. A lot of people don't really like this map, and I definitely think that the chip damage that we were talking about is really, really going to come into play on a map like this, with players wanting to exert as much control over the stacks and the plat as possible.
Absolutely. And with tower control specifically on Mako Mart, that first checkpoint is arguably one of the hardest to fight your way through. And once you're able to clear that, it really does snowball. It snowballs so quickly, and very rarely do you see those pushes stop at that second checkpoint. Usually it's making it all the way down to the third checkpoint before at all, because it's just such a claustrophobic spot. It's just so small that everyone can just feed into the tower. It looks like these players, they're ready to go. They're ready. The lobby is loaded on up. We're getting a nice zoom in on what these players are playing on up, and it looks like the comp is not changing whatsoever.
We are seeing the pencil come out from Prosper once again. Interesting change. Pencil definitely a weapon able to exert a lot of control over this map, so that pick is not necessarily surprising. The Brella coming back on JJ. We have seen JJ on the Inkjet many times on this map. I would argue it's one of their strongest maps. Probably Mako Mart.
Seeing Thunder as well switch onto the Splash-O-Matic is a really good call, especially with that Crab tank.
With Crab.
It is
Crab
such
is
a
so
good play.
strong on this map.
And I can already see, I can envision it already, because Len switched over to the Bubble Blaster, so being able to have that bubble pop from the Crab sit inside so it sits uncontested and protected would be a really good play here. Right now, Flow State goes 3 players down after a little swift clear. Yeah, clear of the first checkpoint. So right away, they're going to go ahead and try to fight their way off. Balloon's in a really tricky 1v1, unfortunately going down. And this is that push for Happy Birthday Sencon. A nice Crab on that right stack, going to take down Henlo. And they're riding this through. This might be a really quick first checkpoint.
Yeah, with the cooler online, it looks like Happy Birthday Sencon is determined to take this push even further. Already we're seeing what we were talking about. It is so difficult once you clear the first checkpoint to exert any pressure from the tower, because this entire platform, once it's controlled by the enemy team, it becomes almost impossible to penetrate. And we're seeing that again. Thunder getting that Crab in an amazing spot, exerting so much pressure. Flow State trying to drop down to do something, anything, but they just can't. And the push just keeps on going. Prosper remaining alive. JJ on the
And that's game!
And that's it!
Wow!
The set's over. Happy Birthday Sencon moves on just like that.
Defeating Flow State 3-1. That was a one-push knockout. Wasting no time, putting Flow State into that stagger the entire game and just securing themselves a spot in losers finals.
That is so insane how one good push can snowball just like that. I really feel like we saw Happy Birthday Sencon's confidence build up over the course of that set. Like, they took the one game and then they had that slight loss, and then they really kind of locked in and started taking things really seriously, and they had that really good lead and sustain during that next game. And then in this one, they were just like, we're pulling out all the stops. We're wrapping this up and we're moving on.